And the 5D is a real place. It can be described as like when you have an OBE, right? Or when you dream. It's almost like a dream world, but when you go there, it'll be real, like me and you, like here. But it'll be a different vibrational level, a different frequency. So if you was to go from that back to here, you would seem like a ghost to everyone here, or a spirit or something. But to us, we would be the same vibration. We would be like this, like me and you. So it's a perspective thing. And December 23rd, 2008, it was midday, and it was a flying saucer. It was plain as day. It was dome, and then it just went to a flat bottom, like flat bottom and then dome. I started seeing crafts, right? I started seeing saucers, light orbs, all kinds of stuff. And I still wasn't completely spiritual then, but I was always like open-minded, you know, and I was excited. So I would spend hours on end out there recording these things, camping out in the bushes. And I didn't understand at that point that I could communicate with him with my mind. But I captured so much stuff back in the day. Like the Galactic Federation has these mindsets of the oneness, the universal consciousness, and this is what they go by. This is how they function. They don't see death as like we do. Death is not real. Death is only a shift into another form or another body, and they do have soul transference technology. So,
growing to the point where it's just an inevitable, catastrophic or not, kind of disclosure that happens, because it's kind of obvious now that, you know, I think that we're being visited by intelligent beings.
It's almost like there's an emissary program. They're emissaries to us, and when we're open to them and we accept them, okay, and we show that our intent is pure, that we end up becoming their emissaries as well. It's not a one-way street. It's both ways. So, you know, I ask myself when I'm talking.
I've heard of people doing out-of-body experiences, like, for example, in their house, and then they were making plans to add like rooms on and stuff like that. And then when they were projecting out of their body, they could actually walk in those rooms that they had already preset to build. Like they had made plans and intentions towards.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't hear that.
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, and so going off of that notion, you know, like if you're like projecting out where you're not just 3D like reality, but like these like 4D aspect, there might be a lot more of that. What you set your intention, or what like direction you're wanting to go, like things just kind of go manifest, so to speak. Is a really interesting tidbit that I came across, and I was like, okay, that makes a bit more sense of what these NHIs are talking about, or just like for them, it's more of just a reality where they may need to push us a little bit harder of like, hey, we need to make this happen, where in their reality it's kind of like a, you know, switch like that. So it's just a really interesting tidbit to add to yours. I could feel there was a communication open, and I asked them what's going to happen with that, and they kind of cut me off and were like, it doesn't matter. We've already said like to your government like what the time frame is, and they pretty much like were like, we don't give two F's. Like that was the intention.
I know that you're gonna say that.
This is happening. Like there was like this is how it's going to go, and that was very prominent too through the channeling itself.
And they're saying that same centralized message, and then once somebody has an NDE and they leave their body, they come to that universal truth of we're all actually connected, we're not actually separate, and that when you hurt someone else, you're really hurting yourself.